What is up, Man Hour Nation? NFL Week 1 season is here. Well, in about 48 hours. But you get it. It is time for some live, raw, and uncut NFL talk on this beautiful September 5th, Tuesday morning. Oh, man, we're going to talk about Nick Bosa and Chris Jones' contracts. Joe Burrow. But first,
and now, Mike's thoughts.
It is not a start of an NFL season without properly introducing Lamar Jackson to the 2023 NFL season. As you guys know, Lamar Jackson this offseason, quote, got his bag. This man got paid. He got some paper in the bank and he got some dollar bills. Yo. Also, in the addition to that, he finally got the weapons that he so desperately needed, right? He got Odell Beckham Jr. He got Zay Flowers. He got Isaiah Likely. And, of course, you got J.K. Dobbins back. Gus Edwards is back. Of course, you still have Rashad Bateman, Nelson Aguilar. Woo, boy, they are loaded on the offensive side of the ball. Catch the sarcasm in the voice there. But, guys, every year I hear this. I hear that Lamar Jackson needs help. Lamar Jackson needs this. Lamar Jackson needs that. But when Lamar Jackson wins his 10, 11, 12, 13 games in the regular season, oh, he did it all by himself. He did it all by himself because he's the MVP. But those games that he loses, those playoff games that he loses, oh, he needs help. He needs a wide receiver. He needs a better coach. He needs a better running game. He needs this, and this, and this, and this. Finally, in 2023, Lamar Jackson, quote, got everything that he needs. He got the prolific wide receiver in Odell Beckham Jr. He has that stud tight end in Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely. That's a 1-2 punch. Also got Zay Flowers blowing off the map. Still got a top defense. You can never pout an eye at the defense. The only thing missing from this whole offseason for the Baltimore Ravens is Lamar Jackson winning some big games. Lamar Jackson winning some games in January. Lamar Jackson taking the Baltimore Ravens to the promised land like he promised. Super Bowl or bust the first 5 years in the NFL league, baby. Let's go. Ravens flock. Well, the Ravens have been flocking, and right now the fans are literally drooling at the mouth for the Baltimore Ravens. These fans are literally putting Lamar Jackson up higher on this pedestal. They're like, oh, praise Lord Lamar Jackson. Woo, hallelujah, amen. Listen, if Lamar Jackson doesn't do it this season, I'm talking about win in January, go to the AFC Championship game, possibly make it to the Super Bowl, are we ready to deem Lamar Jackson the trash quarterback that he is? Are we ready to deem that Lamar Jackson just isn't the guy in Baltimore? No, we're not, because we're going, oh, it's Harbaugh's fault. It's that elementary school offense. Oh, he got a new offensive coordinator. The only thing left to blame now is Coach Harbaugh. That is literally the only thing left you guys have to blame, man. Are you going to get Harbaugh out of town? Obviously. Because you paid Lamar Jackson way too much money, but it is what it is. Guys, the Baltimore Ravens are not a very good team. The Baltimore Ravens are going to finish last in the AFC North. Now, they might make the playoffs. They might, because they do got the 17th easiest schedule in the NFL. And yes, that's right in the middle of the pack. I get it. Still got a very favorable NFL schedule. But understand this. Lamar Jackson is trash as a quarterback. He is. He is. Cue that intro.
time, no. I would like to personally welcome you to Man Hour After Dark. Say that thing. Why I bring you the host, Mike, Buck, and Cone. You know who coming to the stage. Sports talk than what you about to hear right here. I second that.
Go. You know that it's us when we talking about sports. Giving you facts on the field to the core. Tune in, we need the support. 1 hour too short, then listen some more. On all your stations, not dropping no music. Starts like Adidas, but Nike just do it. Down 4 in the 4th, we go for the win. Michael 2 seconds, we taking it in. Buck, Mike, and Combs, you know what's going on. Man, now we're After Dark, no LA, we a big spark. No 4th and inches, won't cut you short. Got the best talking, it's all sports. Buzzing more than buzz beaters. We coming live, all 3 speakers go.
And what is up, Man Hour Nation? Michael Buckheischer here with the Man Hour. Sure, over to manhourradio.com. Check out the merchandise page, or check out the blog section as well. Week 1 of the NFL season is here. We are less than 48 hours away until the Detroit Lions, put some respect on their name, take on the defending Super Bowl champions in the Kansas City Chiefs. We do got to welcome the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Arthur Brown. He says, top of the morning there to you, good sir. Top to the morning to good morning as you as well, Mr. Arthur Brown. Be safe out there today, man. It is hard out there for a pimp when you're trying to make $1 for the rent. If you know, you know. But guys, it is Tuesday edition, Way or No Way Day, right here at Man Hour Radio, September 5th, 2023. But if you haven't done so already, please like, comment, and subscribe to whatever platform you're listening to us on, Facebook, YouTube, or Spotify. Be sure to like it, be sure to subscribe, and of course, share this with a couple friends as well. We do got an excellent show for you guys lined up today. We got Way or No Way, like I said here. We're going to have to talk a little bit about Nick Bosa. We've been boasting up Chris Jones because obviously, you know, they're the first game of the season. But we got to talk a little bit about Nick Bosa. He probably won't be playing week 1. We got to talk about that. Rob Salas says Breece Hall and Delvin Cook are both on pitch counts moving forward. Dak Prescott has the best offense in the league. And of course, Chris Jones is still holding out. All that and much, much more right here on the Man Hour. But first, we got to get a little bit of the lead block happening of the day. So guys, starting out the show is we do always do a little bit of lead block. It's some news that's happening around the NFL landscape here. Some news that may or may not affect your team. But we go through all the NFL news, see what's happening. And we got to do what we got to do. So first thing up the lead block here is Ravens tight end Mark Andrews is expected to be back at practice on Wednesday after missing several practices with an undisclosed injury. This is huge for the Baltimore Ravens because Lamar Jackson needs his reliable tight end. Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens going to have a great offense. It all starts with Mark Andrews. He will be back to practice this week. Good news for them. Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow remains day-to-day and has not been listed as starter on Sunday. This kind of has me worried a little bit. Kind of has me on the fence one way or the other. Now, I do understand that the Zach Taylor and the Bengals don't want to put pressure on him to be back come week 1. Don't want to force him to be coming back, right? But at the same time, it's a division game. AFC North is going to be pretty damn good. You play a division rival in the Cleveland Browns. Joe, we kind of need you back. So you're day-to-day, but you better figure yourself out real freaking quick. Broncos receiver Jerry Jeudy get out practice on Monday because he has that lingering hamstring injury still. Jerry Jeudy needs to be on the field for the Denver Broncos. If he's not, I don't think the Broncos have a chance. A host of Chiefs were limited on practice on Monday, including Ricky James, Tooney, Nick Jones, and Lavarius Sneed. all kind of precautionary things getting ready for the season, but it is some news here. Also, Rams receiver Cooper Kupp is still listed day-to-day with that hamstring injury, and he is visiting a specialist in Minnesota about the hamstring. So, guys, we spoke about this a little bit, when it first happened, right? So, Cooper Kupp got injured in training camp about a month and a half ago, and we're like, this is the biggest injury that could possibly happen for the Rams, and this injury is still lingering on, and this cannot be a very good thing for the Rams or Cooper Kupp in general, because let's just be honest. Right now, the Rams are kind of a team that's not expected to do a whole lot, right? Maybe 4 or 5 wins max, right? And there are people out there, experts, we use that term very loosely here, experts with the air quotes. There are experts saying out there that Matthew Stafford could be traded mid-season. Aaron Donald could be traded mid-season. Cooper Kupp could be traded mid-season. So, obviously, the Rams want to take this very cautiously, because if you want to trade Cooper Kupp, if he has a lingering hamstring injury all season long, what kind of value are you going to get for him, right? They're definitely in rebuild mode, retool, whatever you want to call it. But if Cooper Kupp isn't on the field, the Rams do not have a shot, much like last season. So it is what it is, unfortunately, but he will be visiting a specialist in Minnesota today to get some more answers for that lingering hamstring issue. But guys, like I said, today is Tuesday edition, Way or No Way. And if you guys are new here, Way or No Way is very, very simple. What we do is we've been scouring the old interwebs. We've been putting some stuff out there, kind of, tinkering the old interwebs, doing the algorithm thing, getting people upset. Like I said, Tom Brady was carried to all of his championships. Facts are facts. Prove me wrong. Nobody has yet to prove me wrong on that. But basically, Where No Way is, guys, we put a statement out there. We debate it back and forth. We talk about it, and we deemed if it is indeed a way, I agree, or if it's no way, like, I don't disagree with that at all. Like, no, that is dumb. Buck, what are you thinking, right? So I want you guys to play along in the comments here. If you're safe, don't be texting and driving, Arthur, but be safe out there. Speak to text is a very powerful tool here, but let's go ahead and start the Way or No Way edition here, guys. Tuesday edition of Man Hour NFL Talk. Can we believe we're 48 hours away? Let's go, baby. Chiefs versus Lions. I'm freaking excited. But the first topic of the day is going to be with Nick Bosa and the San Francisco 49ers. Now, this has kind of been of an undertow for a little while here, guys. Nick Bosa has not been at training camp. Nick Bosa hasn't played any preseason games. It's kind of been swept under the rug by the national media, right? The ESPNs and Foxes and all that stuff because of the whole Chris Jones thing. I think it's a little bit bigger, but guys, Nick Bosa still has no contract with the San Francisco 49ers for this season, so he has been holding out. With that being said, Nick Bosa is probably going to miss week 1, week 2, possibly week 3 or 4 going into this 2023 NFL season. So we got to ask the question. We got to ask the obvious question. Is Nick Bosa the one person that the 49ers cannot do without in the 2023 NFL season? So, guys, usually when we think of players that you cannot do without, win without, you are going to go with a receiver, right? You're going to go with a quarterback, possibly a running back, right? But normally it points toward the quarterback. Like, hey, if we lose Matthew Stafford, our season is done. It is over. Get out of town, right? If the 49ers lose Brock Purdy, their season's done, over, whatever, right? I mean, obviously they got like a plethora of quarterbacks, but we digress from that. But quickly, the defensive line is becoming a very intricate part of the NFL system. Quickly, the defensive line, nose tackle, defensive end, walk-up line, linebacker, whatever category you want to put your player in, they are quickly becoming the quarterback of the defense. They are quickly becoming the most focal point of that defense because they put pressure on the quarterback, disruption, whatever, right? So, Nick Bosa, reigning defensive player of the year, guys. You guys understand that he had 18.5 sacks last season. 18.5 sacks season. Every time he rushed the passer, 16% of the time he got to the quarterback. 16% of the time. That is best in the NFL. So way or no way the 49ers need... way or no way Nick Bosa is one person the 49ers cannot win without. Yes, guys. This is a way. The 49ers are a shell of themselves without Nick Bosa on the field. Let's look back to a couple years ago when he went down with his ACL tear. Yes, they had a slew of other injuries, right? But when Nick Bosa was out there, they were holding their own. They were doing all right. And then once he went down there, it imploded. Because the defense couldn't stop anybody. The defense was a complete shell of themselves. Nick Bosa can legitimately shut down one half of the entire field. Don't worry about the linebackers. Don't worry about the cornerback. Just put them all on the other side of the field. We don't care. Nick Bosa can do everything. He can rush the quarterback. He can cover. He can run. He can sack. He can do whatever you ask him to do. Nick Bosa is warranted that $35 million contract that he is seeking. More than Von Miller, $19 million a season. More than Myles Garrett, $25 million a season. More than TJ Watt, $28 million a season. He's better than all those guys. Wrap him up and put him together. You might have a 1A, 1B with Nick Bosa. Nick Bosa is that guy. The 49ers need Nick Bosa this season to be successful. And I don't see them beating the Pittsburgh Steelers without them. Hell, I don't see the Pittsburgh Steelers losing to the 49ers with Nick Bosa. But without Nick Bosa, oh, come on, y'all. We need to start talking about this guy. We need to start talking to the fact that Nick Bosa is one of the best defensive players in the NFL. Yes, I understand he's reigning defensive player of the year. But why have we not been talking about him off season like we have been Chris Jones? Why have we not been talking about him like we have with Micah Parsons and all those other guys? Is it because he's on the West Coast and nobody really cares about the West Coast teams? Is it because he kind of just does it in quiet? I mean, you would think the reigning defensive player of the year holding out for a new contract would be news day after day after day. But it's not. What has been news day after day after day is the whole Chris Jones thing going on in Kansas City. Players, teammates, coaches, etc. are saying, hey, man, you are starting to worry us. Travis Kelce said, hey, you're starting to worry me, man. Come to camp, come to practice. We need you. Chris Jones like, nah, I'll hold out till week 8 still. I want that bread, man. $20 million isn't enough for me. I want about 35. I want about 36. I want the Aaron Donald money plus some. Get it, baby. So, guys, way or no way does Kansas City have to have Chris Jones week 1 to beat the Detroit Lions? Huh. I've been kind of going back and forth on this a lot lately. In my mind, as a Kansas City Chiefs guy, Kansas City Chiefs fan, they are my team. I've been trying to rattle my head saying, how can I logically speak that we don't need Chris Jones? Obviously, Chris Jones is a top defender in the league. Now, per top 10 pass disruptive players in the NFL, he ranks number 5. Behind Micah Parsons, behind Nick Bosa, behind TJ Watt, and I forgot who the fourth is. But he is number 5. Obviously, a very, very good pass rusher. However, there are times in the NFL season when games kind of matter more than others. Now, obviously, week 1 at home, Super Bowl banner is going to get revealed, Super Bowl rings, all that crap. You obviously want to win on your home, like on your home field, right? You obviously want to put a good product out there for the people to get excited. However, historically, the last 3 or 4 seasons, the Kansas City Chiefs defense has absolutely been dog shit the first 6 weeks of the season. First 6 weeks of the season, the last 3 seasons, Kansas City has been 31st and 32nd in every stat category. They have been the worst defense the first 6 weeks of the season the last 3 years. The worst. That is with Chris Jones. That is with the Honey Badger. That is with Snead. That is with whoever else you want to put out there. Dunlap. Who's the guy we just traded to the Broncos? Right. All those guys have been out there. It was still the worst defense the first 6 weeks of the season. However, week 7, week 8, week 9 and beyond, they definitely improve. Why? Because the strength of the Kansas City Chiefs defense is the secondary. The strength of the Kansas City Chiefs defense is getting after the passer, play after play after play. The strength of the Kansas City defense is Chris Jones getting sacks and pressure on the quarterback. That is their strength. What is one thing that NFL offenses struggle the first 4 weeks of the season, first 3 weeks? They struggle of getting a consistent passing game together. They struggle with timing with the wide receivers. They struggle with some of the fundamentals out there because game speed is different than practice speed. You can go as hard as you want in practice. You can go as hard as you want in preseason. But once the lights turn on at Arrowhead Stadium, your 4-5 might turn into a 4-4. That adrenaline, that energy is just going to pump you up just a little bit more. So the time's going to just be a little bit off. So what do NFL teams do the first 3-4 weeks of the season more? They run the ball a little bit more. They're saying, hey, our passing just isn't quite there yet, so we're going to rely on the running game a little bit more. That's where the Kansas City Chiefs don't excel at. So, way or no way does Chris Jones have to be on the field for the Chiefs to win week 1? No way. He does not need to be on the field because I don't see the Detroit Lions passing the ball 50 times in the game. The Detroit Lions are going to play defense with their offense. They're going to run the ball. They're going to milk the clock, and they're going to try to keep the Kansas City Chiefs offense off the field. That is what they are going to try to do. Now, Kansas City Chiefs offense historically is, pretty good the first couple weeks, right? 50, 60 points, whatever you want. I'm kidding on that, but you get the point. The point is, I would love to have Chris Jones on the field. Any Kansas City Chiefs fan, any NFL fan, any person in general, if you're not a Detroit Lions fan, would like to see Chris Jones on the field. You would like to see the hype around Chris Jones. You would like to see him earn that dollar bills, yo. But slow it down, baby. Slow it down, baby. As he is a great pass rusher. As he is a game changer on the field. As he is the best defensive player in the NFL, I'll give him that. Kansas City Chiefs do not need him to beat the Detroit Lions. The Kansas City Chiefs do not need Chris Jones week 1 to beat the Detroit Lions. It is a no way. Even if Chris Jones was out there, he would be there on third down plays only, third and long, pass rush, pin your ears back. Go get my quarterback, my man. That's all he would have to do. But the Kansas City Chiefs don't need him. Either way, the Chiefs defense is going to suck week 1. They always do. They always do. Ever since Steve Spagnuolo has been a Kansas City Chiefs defensive coordinator, he has sucked the first 6 weeks of the season. Tell me I'm wrong. Because you can't. When he came in from New York, I was like, oh, okay. We about to have some good defense, right? First 9 weeks of the season, the worst defense I have ever seen in my entire life. I was like, fire this mofo. But my daddy said it best. He's like, slow it down, baby. Let the man work. Let the man get his system in place. Bada bing, bada boom. Best defense second half of the season. Next year. Oh, we were clicking last year. We were going to be great defense. Patrick Mahomes is going to take a step back. He can just do whatever he wants. We'll have a great defense. First six weeks, whoa. The worst defense in the NFL again. Daddy says, hey, slow it down, baby. Slow it down. Turn it around. Best defense in the last second half of the season. Just because we ain't Kansas no more don't mean that defense doesn't win championships. Kansas City Chiefs always turn it on at the right time with the defensive play, and Chris Jones will be just fine moving forward, and Kansas City Chiefs do not need him week 1. I said it. Now, moving forward, I like to have him against Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. I like to have him versus Kirk Cousins and like in the Vikings. We don't need him against the Broncos because the Broncos are going to be dog poopy anyways. I'm kidding. That is total bias coming out of my mouth right now. My bad. I'll reel it back a little bit. Bias, get out of here. You as a host of the NFL show, I got to be like, hey, every team's good. Yes, every team's good. Even you, Jacksonville Jaguars. Even you, Indianapolis Colts. Even you, New York Jets. Everybody's good. I'm kidding. That's not who we are here at Man Hour, guys. This is live, raw, uncut NFL talk. Every Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. East Coast time. Guys, I don't have any days scheduled off until September 12th. So next Tuesday, I will be gone picking up my new puppy. So Hoppy will be doing a solo show. Give the man some love. Give the man some support. But other than that, guys, through all the rest of the NFL season here, I don't have any days off at all. Kevin popping in the chat. He says, don't underestimate them Lions, bruh. Is it bro or bruh? I'm going to say bruh because that's what we say back in Kansas. Bruh. What up, bruh? Listen, I'm not underestimating the Detroit Lions at all. I am not underestimating the Detroit Lions at all, Kevin. What I am underestimating is the effectiveness of the of the Detroit Lions passing game. Because they are going to rely solely, I feel, on the running game and what's the guy's name? Jamar Gibbs, right? They are going to rely heavily on a rookie running back. Because Jameson Williamson is suspended for the first 6 games of the season. Marvin Jones Jr., don't know how much stock I'm buying into into him. St. Brown did pop off last season. I'll give him that. Where did he come from? But prove it to me again this season. Was he just a one-hit wonder? Was it you were playing from behind all the time and you had an easy-ass slate of games? This year, the Detroit Lions schedule gets a little bit more difficult. What is the Detroit Lions schedule? I actually got to pull it up right here. Let me look at it. Detroit Lions. Man, where are they? Detroit Lions easiest schedule. So they're right there. They are 18th. 18th easiest schedule. So right there in the middle of the pack. So I'm not underestimating anybody in the NFL. It is week 1, right? Week 1, literally anything can happen. The Detroit Lions could be the Buffalo Bills from last season and flex on the Rams, right? 17-0, look out, baby, yada, 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 right? They could be great. What I am underestimating is the effectiveness of their passing game. What I'm underestimating is the effectiveness of their ability to pass the ball more than 30 times in a game. I don't see it happening. That's why the Chiefs don't need Chris Jones, because he's a pass rushing specialist, right? He got 15% of the rushes that he does, he gets QB pressure. So I'm not underestimating the Lions. I just think the Chiefs are that much better on every aspect of the game, including their shit-ass defense. So their shit-ass defense. Also, bro is bro and bra is bra. Come on, brah. Whatever. Let's talk a little bit about the most prolific team in the NFL. Let's talk about this team that sky is the limit. We're going to go all in on this year, and we are going to win it all. And we are talking about the none other than the New York freaking Jets. The best team in the NFL, the New York freaking Jets. This team has gone all in this season. They brought in Alan Lazard. They brought in Randall Cobb. They brought in the best quarterback in the NFL, and Aaron freaking Rodgers, baby. Oh, but it didn't stop there. It did not stop there. Oh, no. They brought in Dalvin Cook, the best running back in the entire NFL. If you guys are catching the sarcasm there, good job for you. But Robert Saleh, head coach of the New York Jets, says that they're going to be smart with Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook this season, as they're going to ease them into the season. They're going to be, quote, on a pitch count. So, guys, we got to ask the question, way or no way, is this smart of Robert Saleh to ease Breece Hall and Dalvin Cook into the season? So, guys, obviously, Breece Hall is coming off an ACL injury that he suffered, around September, October, right? So he's been right about 9-10 months healing time here. He is back on the field. I saw him on Hard Knocks episode 4, episode 3. He looked pretty good. He looked pretty explosive and pretty fast. Dalvin Cook obviously has not had very many preseason OTAs to get acclimated into football shape. So, you know, one false step, one explosion could blow out your Achilles, right? So where, no way, is it smart? I mean, obviously it is smart. Obviously you want to ease your boys into the season. Breece Hall, Dalvin Cook, they are going to be your 1-2 punch here. But we are forgetting probably the biggest X factor of the New York Jets moving forward, and that is Michael Carter. I love me some Michael Carter. So I was very confused when the Jets brought in Dalvin Cook, because I thought they had a pretty good backfield as is with Michael Carter and Breece Hall. So obviously Robert Saleh doesn't have faith in somebody, right? Is it Breece Hall? I mean, because we don't know how he is going to perform, right? Is it Dalvin Cook? He is, 26, 27 years old. I get it. But as it is smart to ease your players into the season, what is not smart is keeping these guys on, quote, a pitch count, right? Because you do have 3 running backs on your team right now that could probably start on any other team, or at least be a very serviceable back on any other team, right? So you want to keep your workhorses happy. You want to use them sparingly, but definitely get them work as well. With that being said, it is smart to ease them into the season. However, with the caveat, with the asterisk, Barry Bonds, with all that being said, if you do not use Breece Hall 10, 15, 20 times a game, if you don't use Dalvin Cook 10, 15, 20 times a game, if you don't use Michael Carter 10, 15 times a game, there's going to be some animosity happening over there on that side of things. There's going to be some upset people on that side of the ball. Now, winning does cure all. We love it when people win, right? Winning cures all. Winning makes me happy. But what happens when the Jets start 0-6? What happens when the Jets start 1-5? Is Dalvin Cook going to be happy? Is Michael Carter going to be happy? Is Breece Hall going to be happy? Hell, is Aaron Rodgers going to be happy? Aaron Rodgers is going to tell Nathaniel Hackett to stick it up his booty hole and let me throw the ball. Guys, understand this. The Jets are a ticking time bomb. The New York Jets are a ticking time bomb. If everything does not go perfect 4-2, 5-1 to start the season off, you are going to see an upset Aaron Rodgers. You are going to see an upset Sauce Gardner. You're going to see an upset Garrett Wilson, Alan Lazard. There's going to be some finger pointing happening here, right? Everything's kumbaya, hunky-dory right now because, hey, it's just preseason. Who cares that we look like total dog shit during preseason? We got Aaron Rodgers, baby. We got Delvin Cook, baby. We got Breece Hall. We got Garrett Wilson. We got Alan Lazard. We got everybody. Everybody praise Allah. Oh, Lord. Praise Lamar Jackson. Guys, the New York Jets are a ticking time bomb because if they suck the start of the season, if they're 500 team and they just look bad, we are not going to see Aaron Rodgers go RELAX, relax. It's going to be fine, man. We're just going to, go to the mushroom factory and sit in darkness and be cool, man. Like, no, that's not going to happen. Be like, you are Aaron Rodgers. You are Garrett Wilson. You are Delvin Cook. Do something. There's only one ball that can go around. Obviously, Garrett Wilson is probably going to be the number one receiver. What happens when Garrett Wilson doesn't get the ball and Alan Lazard starts eating, but they're still losing? Understand, guys, the Jets are going to implode, and it's going to be so much fun to watch. It is going to be so much fun to watch when the atomic bomb, the mushroom cloud happens, and we're sitting back there like, told you so. Told you so. Told you guys the Jets still suck. Told you guys the Jets are still a 7-win team. I told you guys Aaron Rodgers and must all be all. I told you all shouldn't sell your soul to win the damn Super Bowl. I feel like a woman right just right now. I told you so. I told you so. Even if I'm wrong, I'm like, I still told you so. But hey, they still look subpar at best, right? I told you so. I told you so. Let's scroll back up to the comments here. I see my man Hoffy is like it's in the chat, but Kevin, the Jets, the best team in the NFL, best quarterback. I'm loving the sarcasm, man. I am full of sarcasm all day, every day, man. If we were to hang out, Kevin, have some beers, and I'd be like, I don't think I have a serious bone in my body. Even when I gotta be serious, like at a funeral or something, I'm like, hey, you remember that time when his ass crack was hanging out 6 inches? Like, that was funny. I am all sarcasm. I just don't know how to be serious. Hoffy's in the chat. What's up, my man? Hoffy. He says, smart. What do you know about smarts, Buck? Happy Tuesday, Man Hour Nation. Who's excited for some football every Sunday moving forward? Football is back, baby. Man, we got football on Mondays. We got football on Tuesdays. We got football on Wednesdays and Thursdays and Fridays and Saturdays and Sundays. You can literally watch football every day of the week moving forward. But NFL is Monday, Thursday, and Sunday until December. Then we throw Saturdays in there. Oh, man. I'm excited. Kevin says, Jets look great on paper, but so do the Browns. They need to ease Breece Hall. Having Cook would give them that option to let Hall take it easy. So I do agree you have to let Breece Hall ease back into the season. However, sometimes I am a firm believer of simply ripping off the Band-Aid and throwing the wound out there, right? Because one of the things that I've learned about injuries in the NFL, or injuries in general, right? Usually once, 6 weeks, 9 weeks, 12 weeks have gone past, the injured part of the body is healed, right? Your shoulder's healed after surgery, right? Your knee is healed after 6 weeks. Your ankle is healed after 9 weeks once the bone heals, right? Past that point, it is all about confidence. Do you have confidence of putting all the pressure on that leg and making that cut? Do you have pressure of throwing all your momentum into your shoulder and throwing the ball as hard as you can? Do you have confidence of, jumping off that leg? It is all about confidence, and Breece Hall needs that confidence, right? Now, you don't want to overwork it, overstimulate, I get that, But at the same time, I wouldn't have said I want to ease him in there. As a coach of a player that has, we literally tore 4 ACLs in one game last season. Absolutely crazy, right? 2 of those 4 kids came back in like nine months. In July, they were ready to practice, right? 1 September, finally got back on the field. The other one is still kind of nursing the injury a little bit. It's all about confidence. Those first 2 guys had the confidence that I'm ready to go. Third guy needed a little bit more. Hey, buddy, it's okay. This last guy, his confidence is 100% shot. Every time he runs and it feels weird, he's like, "Oh, I'm not ready." Breece Hall needs that confidence. Once he gets that confidence, I think he'll be a top running back in the league. I was just about to say, if they're winning, they won't care. Exactly. Winning cures all. Everybody's hunky-dory and happy when you're winning. Kevin, we all know this. I could be a 5th-string kicker, but if we're winning, I'm like, hey, hell yeah, baby. But the minute that kicker misses that field goal, I'm like, I would have made that kick. Put me in, coach. I would have done this. Hoffy says, "What in the hell are you on today, brother? Mushroom Factory?" Listen, have you guys noticed since Aaron Rodgers has gone to New York, he has been a lot more like, "Hey, man." Now, I didn't really know his personality before coming to New York, obviously, but I feel like he was a very high-strung individual, and now he's just like, "Yeah, whatever, man. I see those clouds. They got purple stars in them and shit." All fingers will be pointed at ass Rod. Will blame everyone but him. So we're talking about New York Giants here. So the New York Jets. Let's say if the New York Jets do self-implode the first 6 weeks, because when we look at the first 6 weeks of the New York Football Jets schedule, it's going to be a very telling sign for them moving forward, right? They open up week 1, Monday Night Football, 8:15 versus the Buffalo Bills. 9-11. It's going to be a very emotional game, emotional scene there in New York. It is going to be crazy. Then they go to the Big D, and I don't mean Dallas. Well, I do mean Dallas. That is a good song. And then they have the Patriots, Chiefs, and Broncos at Broncos. Very, very tough place to play. And then the Philadelphia Eagles. If the Broncos do not go 3-3 in those first 6 games, you are going to see a self-implosion start to happen. Once they lose to the Bills, once they lose to the Cowboys, and they barely skim by the Patriots, the fuse will be lit. Then they get beat down by the Chiefs, and they lose to the Broncos. That flame is going to be fanned. Fanning that flame. That flame. I could realistically see them going 2-4 in the first 6 games. 2-4. And I think you're right, Kevin. I think all blame will be pointed toward Aaron Rodgers, and Aaron Rodgers will deflect it. He'll be like, "Oh, miss me. Oh, miss me. Oh, I am rubber, you are glue. About stuff me sticks to you," right? "Oh, Garrett Wilson ran the wrong route. Oh, Alan Lazard dropped that pass. Oh, Delvin Cook missed that block. Oh, Beckman, you're the worst right tackle I have ever seen." There's going to be some definitely deflection and some dodges, and Aaron Rodgers will blame everybody but himself. You are exactly right. Kevin says, "I'm a goosey bastard when I'm drinking." Inglorious bastard. The season is coming and has me excited. The season's coming and has me excited, Kevin says. "Just had our first podcast of the season Sunday morning, and I am so pumped." Kevin, we're doing an after show tonight, man. I'll post a link on there. Come on over here. Talk your shit and drop the people about your podcast. Let them know what's going on over there on the Kevin Podcast. Bosa is a beast. Generational talent when healthy. I think you mean Bosa. Papa Buck is in the house. He says, from experience, after a major surgery, you're nervous until that first big hit, slider cut. Exactly what I said there, Daddy. Basically, it is all about confidence at the end of the day. Dad had his knee replaced in surgery, and he's a bionic robot basically from the waist down. Basically, once the surgery is done, you are healed. It's just a matter of confidence, just a matter of your ability to get up and get your ass out there and start moving the old bones around. It is about being 60 and slipping on the ice without breaking your hip. I'm kidding, but not really. What I am not kidding about, though, is Dak Prescott. One of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, top 5 quarterback, if not top 3 quarterback in the NFL, Dak freaking Prescott. He says the Dallas Cowboys has load of talent on the offensive side of the ball, and they're going to make plenty of plays in 2023. So with that being said, guys, way or no way do the Dallas Cowboys have the best offense in the NFL in 2023. Now, when we look at paper, because obviously games are won on paper, we all know this. Everything's scripted out till the end of the season, so games are going to be won and lost on paper all season long. With that being said, when you look at the roster of the Dallas Cowboys, you do have a top 5 quarterback in Dak Prescott. One of the best offseason moves that the Dallas Cowboys made this offseason was getting Kellen Moore out of town. Kellen Moore was arguably one of the worst offensive coordinators when it come crunch time. You can blame all the crap you want on Dak Prescott, saying it's Dak Prescott, he threw the interception. Well, it's Kellen Moore's fault. He put Zeke as center. So he is out. Then you got Tony Pollard. Then you got Deuce Vaughn. Then you got Rojo. You got a little bit of CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Cooks, Michael Gallup, Jake Ferguson, Jalen Tolbert, Turpin. One of the best offensive lines in the whole entire NFL. Guys, on paper, the Dallas Cowboys have the makings to be a very, very good offense, if not the best offense in the NFL. But if you did not catch the card assassin before, I'll give it to you again. Games are not won on paper. Obviously. The NFL is not scripted. Obviously. With that being said, the Dallas Cowboys do not need to be one of the best offenses in the NFL to win a lot of games this season. Dink and dunk Dak will be back. That is what will make the Dallas Cowboys very successful. Now, they will have plenty of big plays. They will throw a screen pass to CeeDee Lamb, and he'll break it for 60 yards, right? Deuce Vaughn will get lost behind those 7'5" linemen, and Mr. 4'2" man himself is going to get lost, and he's going to scurry around for 50 yards. Turbin is going to get the ball on a nice, deep, long pass. A 23-mile-an-hour man himself, he's going to catch it. There are going to be some big plays, but the Cowboys don't need it. But to say they're going to be the best offense in the NFL, that is a stretch. That is a stretch because there are other teams out there. Arthur Brown, your Miami Dolphins. Your Miami Dolphins might have the best offense in the NFL. If they're not, they're going to be like a 2 or 3 at worst. Kansas City Chiefs are going to have a good offense. Best? Probably not. 49ers are going to have a pretty good offense. The best? Probably not. When we look at teams around the NFL, a team that I think is going to have the best offense in the NFL is going to come from the AFC side of the ball. It is going to come in the shape of an elf. I think the Cleveland Browns will have the best offense in the NFL. Deshaun Watson coming back after a full season after being off for 2 years, had a full training camp, worked off the rust last season. They have Amari Cooper. They have Peoples-Jones. They have Nick Chubb. They have a great defense. They're gonna be playing from ahead a lot Makes the offense a hell of a lot easier to play from ahead. I think the Cleveland Browns will have the best offense in the NFL, stat-wise, yards, points, etc. It's going to come from Cleveland Browns, not the Dallas Cowboys, not the Miami Dolphins, not the Kansas City Chiefs, not the Jets. The Cleveland freaking Browns. How does that sound coming out of my mouth? The Cleveland Browns will have the best offense. Wow. It's 10:45, and I may have... Wow. Let's jump back into the comments here, guys, as we wrap up the show here. The hour flew by here, guys. NFL season is here. We're less than 48 hours away. The Detroit Lions taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. Week 1 of the NFL season is here. But Kevin says, I think the Lions have a good shot of winning Week 1. Will they pull it off? Probably not. The Lions are the Lions. So I posted the pick'ems on the Facebook page last night. Lions versus Chiefs. And many people are saying Lions in an upset. So let me ask you guys this question. In a roundabout kind of hypothetical way, yes, I do understand that the Kansas City Chiefs are reigning Super Bowl champs. However, there is a lot of hype surrounding the Detroit Lions. There is a lot of upside for the Detroit Lions. Every time when people talk about the Detroit Lions, they are talking about playoffs. They're talking about Super Bowl. They're talking about 10, 11, 12, 13 wins this season. So let me ask you guys this in a hypothetical situation. Let's say the Lions beat the Kansas City Chiefs by, let's say, 6 points. It's a 28-22 type of score. Kind of mid-scoring, mid-tier kind of defensive slugfest, like a little bit, right? Would it be considered an upset if the Detroit Lions do beat the Kansas City Chiefs? I would say no, because of all the hype surrounding the Detroit Lions. Now, Kansas City Chiefs, like I said, are reigning Super Bowl champs. They are. Can't take that away from them at all. But the hype around the Lions is like is real. There's a lot of hype around the Detroit Lions, so I'd be curious. Hoffy says, no way. They have Dak at quarterback, and that's a big setback. Hoffy. I posted stats on the Facebook page. In the first 7 years of his career, Dak Prescott has better stats than Drew Brees, Ben Roethlisberger, and Tom Brady. Better completions, more touchdowns, less interceptions, more yards. Dak Prescott is better than all those quarterbacks at the stats. Look at those stats. The first 7 years, Dak Prescott's better than Tom Brady. Big Ben. Drew Brees. Better than all of them. The only step back that the Cowboys had the last couple seasons was Kellen Moore as offense coordinator. Kellen Moore is out. Mike McCarthy in. Super Bowl winning coach Mike McCarthy, I might add. He is in. Dak is going to be MVP this year. I see you're all hyped up on Mountain Dew. I am all hyped up on Mountain Dew. And some Ultra Paradise Monster Energy. I wouldn't recommend Ultra Paradise. It's not very good. Arthur Brown says, no way that the Dallas Cowboys will have the best offense in the NFL. They still need a quarterback that will take them to the next level. What is all this hate about Dak Prescott? Dak Prescott has more playoffs wins than Lamar Jackson. Dak Prescott has more wins in the regular season than Lamar Jackson. But Lamar Jackson gets all this praise because it's his one MVP year when he won by default because Patrick Mahomes dislocated his kneecap, was out for 4 games. Stop dogging my man Dak Prescott. Stop dogging him. I may got a hard on for him, but stop dogging him. Dak is gone because Cowboys will make the playoffs. Are you saying that Trey Lance is going to be starting quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys? Come on now. Come on. We are used to brown stuff coming out of your mouth, Buck. I always talk the realest shit, man. Everything that comes out of my mouth is facts. Game is close. Chiefs win, but will not beat the point spread. The last time I checked, the point spread was 7.5. I think, like my dad posted that on our thing here. But I'll be curious of what the point spread is now, because once Chris Jones is out, I feel like the point spread is going to get closer and closer and closer. So right now, the Chiefs have a 66% chance of winning the game, and the point spread is down to 6.5. 6.5 spread. So we can always hope for a good game. Even if you're being biased, you are not wrong. The Browns sunk Major Donkey Dick. LMAO. How did the Browns suck? Right now, everything's being based off of paper, right? Obviously, we don't know what week 1 is going to show us. Hell, Deshaun Watson could be the worst quarterback in the NFL. But on paper, DTR and Deshaun Watson is a great quarterback combination. Even if Deshaun Watson happens to go down for a couple games, DTR will pick up right where he left off. And Dorian Thompson-Robinson, if he comes in, may not give his job back to Deshaun Watson. They have Nick Chubb, the best running back in the NFL right now. Better than Zeke, better than Tony Pollard, better than King Henry, better than CMC. Nick Chubb is the guy. Then you have Amari Cooper, Elijah Moore, Donovan Peoples-Jones, and David Njoku. The best wide receiver tight end core in the NFL is right there in Cleveland. Better than Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. They don't have a solid tight end or solid number 3. The Dallas Cowboys might rival them a little bit. Better than the Chiefs, better than the Jets, better than the Bills, better than the 49ers. The Browns have the best core tight end, wide receiver core from top to bottom. And then they have one of the best defenses out there. Myles Garrett, Delvin Tomlin, Ja'Darius Smith, right? They picked up our man from Kansas City Chiefs, Juan Thornhill. Don't be sleeping on the Browns. I care about W's in the playoffs, not individual stats. I can't win the big one. I think it means Dak can't win the big one. He will this year. Stats are numbers. Wins and losses are the real numbers. You guys want some real numbers? Tom Brady might have 7 Super Bowl rings on his finger. But the real numbers are that Tom Brady was carried to each and every one of those Super Bowls. With a great defense, with great coaching, and an excellent Hall of Fame kicker. Without those things, Tom Brady would be nothing. Let's just be honest. Tom Brady would be nothing. Kevin Stefanski, I think, is a problem in Cleveland right now, says Kevin. To be determined. Can we put that on there? Can we say to be determined? I'd be curious of what Coach Stefanski can do this season. They've been kind of playing with fool's gold a little bit here, right? They went all in with Deshaun Watson, banking on something of the past. I guess we will see. We will see. But guys, that is it for today's show. We got the after hour show coming tonight. Kevin, I recommend you join us here, man. 10 p.m. East Coast time. I'll post a link. Join on, talk some shit with us. Hoffy will be there. We got to talk about that quarterback crap that's happening in New England. They officially have a second backup quarterback now, Matt Carroll. So you cut Bailey Zappi, sign him back to the practice squad. Matt Carroll gets cut by the Carolina Panthers. No other team in the NFL wanted him, but Bill Belichick's like, you know what? That's my guy. Has Bill Belichick lost his mind? Who knows, guys? See you in a couple hours. 10 p.m. East Coast time. After our show is coming. Live, raw, uncut sports talk. Every Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. East Coast time. Guys, right here. We out.